Hi guys, my name is Andrea Villarreal. I would like to talk about media bias. What is it? How it works? Why media bias matter? And for that, I would like to use a real example about immigration and coverage from two major news outlets, ABC News and CNN. This is the articles that I chose to write my essay, so I would like to share them with you today. Let's start talking about what is media bias. So, media bias happens when news isn't just about reporting facts, but about how those facts are actually presented. It can come from the words that journalists choose, the facts that they decide to include or leave out, the tone they use to present the news, or even the order they tell the story in. I understand that everyone has bias, but in media, these biases can really influence of how we understand important issues in our society. And these happen often without us even realizing it. With the link and the study guide that we have in this class, I learned that it is 16 types of media bias. But today, with this example, I just only gonna focus in few of them. The first one is slant, which is when the story highlights one side more than another. The second one is a spin, that is when the facts are selectively presented to support a particular view. And emotional language, which uses words that make you feel certain kind of way about the topic. Let's dive into the real example. President Trump promised to deport the worst of the world's immigrants, meaning those with serial criminal records. Both ABC News and CNN reported on data about who ICE actually arrested. But they told the story very differently. ABC News focused on how, despite Trump promise, many arrested immigrants had no criminal record. They used a critical tone, emphasizing a shift in enforcement to include non-criminals. This creates a conflict narrative that highlights a contradiction between what was promised and what actually happened. I can see that ABC Stories uses a spin by selectively focusing in a shift and framing the administration's actions as inconsistent. In the other hand, CNN reported that less than 10% of immigrants arrested has serious criminal record, and that 75% have no record at all. This story rely on data and internal government records. They use an emotional language like calling some actions barbaric, which adds an emotional punch to the facts. This is an example of emotional language bias. CNN article is more data-driven, but still shapes the story to highlight the gap between what the administration claims and the reality. So both outlets actually reveal a similar reality. And it is that many arrested immigrants have no serious criminal record, but they frame it in a different way using bias. like slang, spin, emotional language, omission, which influence how readers feel about this story. One important thing that I can see that both articles left out was a clear explanation of what counts as a serious or pending record. This omission is also a type of bias because without this context, the audience can fully understand the situation. And why this matter? Well, I think that repeated exposure to bias in news can polarize opinions and create division in society. To wrap up this video, I just want you guys to remember that media bias has the power to shape how we interpret facts. That the same story can be told in very different ways. And that being aware of these tactics of media bias can help us to become better informed, more empathetic, be able to see the world through different lenses instead of just one. Next time that you're exposed to any kind of news, please ask these questions to yourself. What is being left out? How may another outlet tell the story differently? Just be critical. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.